Welcome back. I'm Adrienne, your expert on all things custom home building and luxury. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend how much fun we have on the Frazier Homes channel. So, you all read our blog a few weeks ago that said, "Help, my architect just doesn't get it." And that blog, multiple people were super excited to see that blog, and I felt compelled to talk more about it here on The Difference. And let's get into why are we having this breakdown and we're contending with the architect. Well, the first reason you already know is because you don't have your builder at the table. This is the interdisciplinary team. If you are working with your architect without your builder, you're going to have some communication breakdown because your architect is working about based off of concepts. So it's a conceptual. Your builder actually has the means and methods. They know what's going on day to day, and they are walking the house in their mind. So Andre is the master builder here at Frazier Homes, and Andre has a keen eye. He can look at drawings and he can look at them in a 3D visual ever before it is in a 3D rendering. So he's walking the house and he can see that this room feels a little clunky or this hallway feels a little tight. And so for those reasons, this is the reason why your architect just doesn't get it, because you don't have your builder. But besides that, one of the reasons why is because your architect is not listening. And so that is also a part of communication, but listening is back to those questions. So we'll link the episode before where we talked about, as your builder, Frazier Homes, we are asking 500 questions at least. Well, a good architect will do the same thing. They're talking to you about your lifestyle. Do you need 2 offices? Do you need a lot of kitchen space? Are you a baker and so you have lots of KitchenAid appliances? And the list goes on. And so the listening is a brother or akin to asking good questions. And the reason why your architect doesn't get it is because they're not doing that. Okay, this includes rooms in wrong place, features are missing. The layout feels a little clunky, as I mentioned before, but that is as a result of moving too quickly. And so if your architect feels like they can't get everything that's in your head on paper in a timely manner, you know what's going to happen? It's going to be a misalignment. And so you're going to feel frustrated that your architect is not really capturing your vision. All right, so what other things are reasons is prioritizing style over function. You remember in an episode before I said, make sure that you are not just thinking about trends and, shag carpets and hardwood that is very ornate and dark in color. All of those things generally are trends. You want to make sure that you have timeless and that it's also functional. You'll remember in the past I've talked about how you might not want to have that formal dining room if that's not your lifestyle. But your architect won't be able to discover that if you don't have the continuous flow of communication going back and forth. Okay, and so what is another aspect is speaking different languages. So just because we're talking doesn't mean we're communicating. Okay. And so if their language is very different from yours, obviously, if you were speaking to an attorney, you don't know the legal ease. And it's the same thing when you're speaking to an architect, you don't know the ease of the construction ease. And that goes back to why you need your builder with you when you are going through the design phase. And so what do we do to fix it? Frazier Homes. All right, we reset, okay? If we walk into a process where you have already been working with your architect and it's just not working out, we reset the relationship, okay? So we just want to talk. Before we ever get to looking at the drawings and sketches, let's just have a talk. It really opens up and illuminates what's important to you when we just talk. This is what we do at Frazier Homes, and this is what we do with all of our partners. We want to have a conversation information. The next is we like to use imagery, okay? Because pictures do say 1,000 words. Remember I said you can be talking 2 different languages, but pictures help to emote. So what do you like about this? What is important in this particular photo or rendering? We like to use mood boards and videos to try to really get the essence and information. And then of course, everyone likes to see on the back end all of the beautiful work. Over time, you see our Instagram and our Facebook posts, you get to see all of that imagery and the evolution of our projects. This is because it's helpful. So your home, for all of you who have Frazier Homes, you might be an inspiration because someone will take something from our Instagram and say, this is what I'm talking about. All right. And then we say, can you walk me through and translate? Okay. So have the architect walk through and give the ideas and talk about what is in their head and what is their vision to see if there's alignment. Okay. Obviously, you know, you're going to have your partner on deck, and that's how you help to reset. And then look at a questionnaire. So if for some reason you are with your architect and things are not aligning and you're not communicating well, take a time to use a questionnaire to see if you all are on the same page. So an example would be, on your questionnaire, you say, well, I like more of a transitional house, and the architect believes that he is designing a traditional house. You can see where there's alignment issues. And so those are some of the fixes to the problem where your architect just doesn't get it. We don't have those issues at Frazier Homes when you have your interdisciplinary team. And if your builder is not talking to you about that, it means they don't know the difference.